I've done enough of this.
Israel has formally declared war on Hamas following an unprecedented attack by the Gaza-based militant group over the weekend. Israel is vowing to lay total siege to the Gaza Strip as Hamas pledges to kill captured Israelis if attacks target civilians without warning. The war is in its third day. And for another perspective, we have Michael Harris in studio with us. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. You grew up in Israel. You were raised there. You live here in West Michigan now. You're working as a professor at Tennessee State. A lot of us, we're on the outside looking in. For somebody who lived there, served there in the IDF for more than a decade, and your wife is there currently, what's going through your mind right now?
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. A pleasure being here with you, Josh. It is something that we have never seen in Israeli history, and actually a lot of people want to compare it to the Yom Kippur War, 50 years and 2 days, but no, what we compare it a lot is to the Holocaust. This was an unprecedented attack that Israel has suffered tremendous casualties, probably 1,000 killed, murdered, over 2,000 injured, and over 100 in captivity. Wiped, the entire South was taken over in a terrible surprise attack. The thing that I'm interested in most is, why did it happen? Okay, we'll talk about it later. The answer is, and of course, what is Israel going to do next from this minute?
Having served in the military, in the IDF there, you have firsthand knowledge of what something like this may look like. What are they preparing for there? Because they've already said that this is war and that they will lay siege to the Gaza Strip. I imagine we're also just watching video and pictures coming from there. You have a personal attachment to the area,
of course.
Knowing what the future might hold, what do you expect to happen moving forward?
Of course, I and my wife and I, we grew up in that area in Nordwell. As you said, I was a major in the IDF and pretty much aware what's going to go on now. They're going to continue to clear out all the terrorists that were able to cross through. In the meantime, 3 Israeli divisions are preparing on the border of Gaza to go in and punish the Hamas in a manner that there will never be a Hamas as we know it. This is very different than the past. Israel withdrew from the Gaza Strip, and people forget it. It's a total separate entity of Israel. Yes, the attack came after Israel withdrew in 2005, and what we're going to see is Israel is going to go in and punish heavily. The big concern is, at the same time, what is going to happen in the north with the Hezbollah, because that will mean a very different impact on the Israeli military and the actions it will take.
Sure. Landscape, both actual physical and the political landscape, may change permanently in the future. The Gaza Strip is one of the most heavily, densely populated areas in the entire world. They've talked about the tactical steps taken so far, cutting off electricity and water. What's happening there for those people there, and what might that look like for the rest of Israel if they have to get out? Can they?
If Israelis have to get out,
or the people in Gaza have to get out?
No one can leave right now, Gaza. And you know, the size of Israel is 70 miles on 220 miles. So Israel itself is smaller than New Jersey. There's no coming in and no leaving Gaza right now. The reason that Israel this time has chosen also not to be so kind in terms of humanitarian is because of the unprecedented toll, 1,000 murdered and hundreds in captivity, including kids, 3-year-olds, 5-year-old babies, and so on. So this time the Israeli government and the Israeli military are determined not to be so nice, although the Israeli military will continue to maintain a moral value, but the punishment that the Hamas is going to take as a result is going to be severe. It's not, the status quo is going to change forever.
There has to be some questions about, you talked about the women and children who are being held captive.
Yes.
Why wasn't Israel more prepared for something like this?
That is the big question that's kept being asked, Josh, and I'll give you 2 quick answers. One is the one that a lot of Israel say, let's not talk about it now, let's wait till the fighting's over. And the second one is because there was a terrible concept that they will not attack. It was a strategic mistake. No one believed, with all the billions that Israel poured onto that border, the electronics, the landscape, whatever Israel did there, yet Israel believed that there won't be attack. And they came with bulldozers, pushed down the fences early in the morning, wiped the way out, and really with white Toyotas, exactly like Daesh, just rammed the entire region and all the population there. The fact is simple. Israeli leadership, military and political, did not believe that this could happen. And there was the big mistake.
And your wife is safe?
Yes, she's safe. She's in an area that is being sheltered heavily at night. They come in, the first 24 hours were a barrage of 2,000 rockets. Now they're still coming in, but less. And they're safe within reason. I mean, there's still terrorists that are ramming the area there, and the military is putting a huge effort to make sure they're gone before they start the real active move into Gaza. In the meantime, only the Air Force is attacking.
And you have a line of communication with her and anybody else you may know there?
Absolutely. And of course, all my friends and family and so on. Absolutely.
Well, I imagine you're keeping a close eye on the situation there, as we are all now, and should be as well. Is there anything, one more thing that you want people to know? Because again, we're on the outside looking in here. You have a intimate connection with that area. What is there anything you want people to know about that situation?
And I'll say very briefly. One, that this was a terrorist Daesh-style, barbaric, unacceptable attack on civilians. This wasn't military like in Yom Kippur, wars fought war. This was an absolutely Daesh-style murder of innocent civilians. People have to realize this. This isn't side for side. Number two, the U.S. has a major role here to keep Iran, who provoked it and could provoke the Hezbollah, and is generously now resupplying Israel. The U.S. has a major role here in how this will end. And number three, maybe be careful of Hamas's propaganda. They are pretty good at it. Israel is very direct in what it does.
Well, we appreciate your time, and we'll be thinking about you and your family, Mr. Harris. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.